Yes, sirree. It's 37 degrees at 4 o'clock. And outside, let's see the temperature. So it's not that much hotter. So the question is, should I be watering my succulents when it's this hot? Hello there. My name is Liz, a self-confessed succulent addict. Welcome to my channel, Growing Succulents. Straight off the bat, no. A big no when temperature is this high. Especially if they are planted in pots like this. And especially when they are this pretty, please don't water them. You have to wait till temperature cools down, because what's going to happen is if I water this, well, apart from the fact that they don't need watering because they have been watered well enough in the past few days ago, a week ago, so they don't need watering. If I were to water them, what's going to happen is, well, in this temperature, they're going to cook. The soil is going to warm up and then boil the liquid that's in the roots and cook up your roots of your succulents and, well, in this case, my beautiful succulents, and they will die. But I need to water because I have to be somewhere this afternoon and I haven't got time to water my succulents, especially these baby ones here, which are very thirsty. So if I leave them too long, see, look at that one there. See, that looks dry and is very thirsty. That's in need of watering. Even here, my little propagation coconut coir. So it's all just coconut coir. And look, they're dry. So they need watering. And I can't water it tomorrow as well when the temperature cools down. But I still can't water because I have to be somewhere tomorrow. So technically, the only time I have is today. Not tonight, not tomorrow, not the next day. I don't know what I'm doing the next day. My babies' propagations here are very dry and they're starting to eat themselves, so which is not good. So if I leave it too long, they're gonna end up, most of them, even though they look pretty right now, but even this one's nice and plump at the front here because I watered them last night. But the ones at the back, I haven't. So these are all like really light. You could almost toss it in the air. That poor thing, that's in need of water. So in this scenario, I don't have any choice but to water. Even the propagated small pots, very sensitive babies, because I haven't got time. But there's a reason why I can water them. First, they are all in the shade. So if I go over on the left hand side here, see the sun? Yes, stay away from the light. Don't go in the light. But in the shade here, we can water these ones that's grown in the shade. It's okay. It's fine. We can water this one. But over on this side where the curtain is, I secured the ends because that's going to burn the edges there if it flaps around. And it has already burned before. Okay, a couple of plants. Hang on, let's go look. Because this thing had flippy-floppy in the air and the sun hit it and it burned. So the babies I've got here, wherein they have, see the light? So these ones at the front are in the shade. I also gave them a drink, these ones, last night, but only up to this part here. The ones in the back here, I did not, because as you can see, when I say last night, yesterday, because it's too hot. You can see the light shining on them. And if you have a close look on a lot of them, they're quite stressed from the area. So look at that. So how dry that is, one there. So the area where the sun hits them, I tend to wait until it gets dark to water them. I'm probably going to water the ones at the front, which is in the shadows here. The ones in the light over there, we don't go unless the sun goes down. At the end of my watering session, then I can maybe give them a drink. But the ones at the back, they're not going to get any light on them or sunlight. So it is okay for me to water them. And also those couple of pots of propagations over there, same story. The area where the sun's hitting it, you can see that bowl there, the pyramid, see the triangle, all the plants there are small, but the ones on the edges that's in the shadow are much bigger. And even here, same story, where the sun hits, the plants sort of tend to get stunted in growth compared to the ones that's in the shadow. They seem to grow much faster. Now all of these plants in here are my precious ones, I call them. I can't afford for them to die because they're just too beautiful to die. So, see, even this one, I watered this last night. Okay, when I say last night, it was actually late, about probably 2 o'clock in the morning. I was watering these ones. So, even these ones up the top, that's not a problem. They're in small pots. There's plenty of time enough for them to dry on the surface, or should I say, the pot doesn't get really hot. So I can touch the pot, hang on, especially this one here on the outside. I can feel the temperature. The temperature is probably about 25 degrees, so that's okay. So anything that's sort of 25 degrees and below, out in the open, let's follow the light. So all of this here, I did not water last night, nor am I watering it now. Plus, they've been watered plenty enough. That one needs to be cleaned up. That's Summer Dream. That needs to be cleaned up, but it's still pretty heavy, so I'd say it's got 50% liquid or watering in that one, and that could still last another month without watering. And all the plants are nice and plump, so they don't need watering. So you don't need to water your plants just because you feel like they need to be watered. You water them when they need to be watered. So this one as well, although that's hot, like I can feel, oh, that one is really hot, like almost I can't touch that. But so probably maybe about 45, or it's cooling down as I touch it now, but oh, that one's really hot. Oh, that one's hot. So now these ones, they get hotter, and therefore the soil mix that I have in these ones is very important. It needs to breathe. It needs to have a lot of light airiness for oxygen to get into the roots so they can breathe and not suffocate and rot. So, but mainly because I did not water this. Oh, Canopythum, look, it's flowering, it's gorgeous, it's beautiful. But let's go back to my watering. So any of these plants, my Amestro, my beautiful Romeo, and my beautiful Agavoides, variegated Romeo, which was sold to me as pink, pretty in pink before. Look how pretty that is. They're not gonna get watered. Also my honey pink, they're not gonna get watered. All of these, they're all nice and plump and healthy. And this one, this is only newly potted, my cotyledon, me love you long form. This one doesn't need watering. So a lot of these don't need watering. So if they don't need watering, or should I say, if it looks like they don't need watering, don't water them. Or should I say, why water when they don't need it? Isn't it? Beautiful babies. Oh, look at that one. That's Psyche. Have you psyched me out, Psyche? Now, let's water my babies. But before I get ahead with it, okay, this one is about, oh, light on one side and heavy on this side. Okay, so which means I've watered this side and not on this side, because I've got a champagne. I have to remove the champagne from that, and this one, what are you? Mont Blanc. So that plant, the purple snow champagne in the middle, and also this pink champagne. Are you pink? Yes, it is. They have to be removed along with the huge, lovely bear here. Now, my amazing Grace here, I don't understand what's so amazing about you, Grace. But maybe during the cold weather, you will go all pink. But now it's still hot, you're still staying green. Now this one, I can already see this sarang is a little bit sensitive on the sun. So I put this in here. Look, that's burnt from the sun because I put it out in there, and then I thought these are all mainly highly farinated apart from that one, the hyalina. So they got white coating on the surface, so they can handle the sun a little bit better. And this sarang is the one that did not handle the sun, because obviously the leaves are quite thin, and also the farina is not as thick as the others here. So she's a bit sensitive. She's not as thick as some. So now these ones, I am not going to water this because one, they don't need watering. Plus, they have plants in them that are sensitive plants until I remove the champagnes and the big, what's this bear plant? A cutie bear. Oh my goodness, I'm forgetting my plants. Oh, lovely bear. Then I don't have to water the rest of the pot. So, but anyway, now I'm gonna go water this. So there's a lot of confusion as to when to water, not to water, or how to water, but it's simple. When the temperature is hot, 25 degrees Celsius and above, or it goes over 25 degrees, don't water your plants, especially if they're out in the open or grown in the garden. In here, I've got protection because of my shade cloth. So in this case, any plants that are even down here, if it's 25 degrees and below, if it's a 24.9 degrees Celsius, then I can water it. But if it's 25 degrees, it's up to your discretion, because certain plants can handle it and some can't. So the crassula, they don't care, they're tough. You can water them even at 30 degrees and they'll still be fine, as long as you don't water in the middle of the day. You can just sort of let the sun go down a little bit, doesn't have to be in the dark, but let it cool down. Even out in the open, you can water it. But otherwise, most of the Echeverias or the leafy succulents, like especially this beautiful Hoshikage here, I advise not to water it, because once the water sits or pools on top of the plant, then that can magnify the heat and burn the leaves of the plant. And this is why some people is running around with a puffer to puff off the water that's settled on the surface of the leaves. But I don't do things like that because I haven't got time. But anyway, I'm going to continue watering this one now. So while I'm chit-chatting with you, I'm just going to go ahead and water this. Also, in this case now, since, hang on, my pump needs to be pumped up. Okay, not too much because it's going to burst again. Now, my Romeo over here, I am careful not to water them because they are next to my babies here. So those, all of them are all, I'm proud to say, they all came from my own propagation. And I still got, I think, one or only one left over there that's sort of almost dying before, but it has recovered. But I think that's not a Romeo, that might be a Taurus or something like that. But now I'm looking around and, oh yes, this one, I mean, it's a beautiful plant. I just potted it up this morning. I bought it yesterday or picked up yesterday, and it needs watering because that's really dry. And it's next to my Romeo. I really have to fix my sprayer, so I have to stop this and continue later on because I am wet. Look, I wet myself. I've changed my pants and now I don't stink of seaweed solution, so now I won't pump up this too much or else it is going to burst again. So anyway guys, that's all I've got for this video. Hope I'm able to share with you what I know and you'll find this video useful. And if you haven't got the answer you're looking for from this video, please leave a comment below and let's see if we can find a solution to your succulent watering problems. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll continue watering this and hopefully I'll see you on the next video. Now when I water, I have a soil wetter in my solution and also seaweed fertilizer. So both of them, soil wetter, okay, and power feed. I'm not advertising any brand, but I prefer using liquid fertilizer for them, and I like to coat all the surface of the succulent. This prevents mealybug and also other pests and diseases coming onto them, because they too don't like the stinky smell of seaweed. This one I really have, see the bottom there? That's dry, so I want to make sure that the water, can you see the water now running underneath? They get soaked, because I won't be here for a while and they needed to be hydrated. Okay, so there's a hole, it's dripping now, but I'll continue watering this until I can be absolutely certain that there's no certainty in the world, but at least close enough that there's plenty of water in this container. And yes, I almost forgot this one. The Hermes is what I was watering last when the hose burst, so I will give it a good soaking. Oh, beautiful plant, oh my goodness, I love it.